Welcome everyone. Today's practice is for those who run, cycle or walk a lot. We are going to open the hip flexors, the muscles here, the hamstrings, the muscles on the back of the legs. We're going to open the hips and also work a little bit the shoulders. So all those areas that tend to get tight when we run, walk, or bike a lot. So ideally, for this practice, you need 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can use shoebox. Make sure they are of the same height. I mean, these are optional, are not mandatory. They will just make your practice a little bit easier, more accessible. If you know that you have knee pain, I suggest a pillow to pad the knees, and then a yoga strap or a belt in case some of the movements that we are going to do are not accessible. So let's start lying down on the mat with our backs on the mat with few moments of relaxation. Lay down, start to gently move the chin towards the chest to open the back of the neck. Your feet are as wide as the mat. And then just bring the knees together. And if you want, place the hands on top of the belly. And just start to slow down the breath to make it longer and deeper. Tuning to the movement of the breath, to the sound of the breath. And notice how the belly rises every time we inhale, and how the belly lowers down towards the floor every time we exhale. Try to be with the breath in the body. Bringing your awareness from outside inside. You can stay here as long as you want, but we are going to start to move in the next few breaths. And you can keep your eyes closed or open, whatever makes you feel better. So on your next inhale, parallel the feet and have them as wide as your inner hips. Come to the tippy toes, and on your exhale, bring both knees at the same time towards your heart. Hug the knees slightly and gently rock side to side, massaging the lower back. Another area that tends to get tight when we run and walk. Hold the left knee in towards your left shoulder with both hands. Stretch the right leg up towards the ceiling. Flex the foot as if you would like to stamp your foot to the ceiling. And then slowly start stretching the right leg towards the front of the mat. Very slowly, just feeling what's happening in the body as you move. Then, as your heel reaches the floor, press the heel down on the floor as your toes point towards the ceiling. We are now opening the front of the leg, the hip flexors. Stay here a few breaths, and then hold the left knee with your right hand as the left arm stretches across. Inhale to the center, exhale, twist towards the right. Both shoulders on the floor. If you want, you can gaze at your left hand. And now really connect with the exhale. full deep breaths. Noticing how the body releases and relaxes as we slow down the breath. Inhale, come back towards the center. Both feet on the floor. Press the feet down, lift the hips to realign the body and lower it down. Bring the right knee in towards your right shoulder, hold it with both hands. Stretch the left leg up towards the ceiling, flex the foot. And then slowly, as you exhale, start moving the left leg towards the front of the mat. Press the heel down on the floor. Flex the toes, so toes are pointing towards the ceiling, and just stay here. Notice what's happening in the front of the legs, how the hip flexors will gently release and open the more you bring your right knee towards the right shoulder. Do not force it. Just listen to the breath. Listen to the body. Then hold the right knee with your left arm and stretch the right arm across. Inhale to the center. Exhale. Simple twist towards the left. And if you want, look at your right arm. Both shoulders on the floor. If you notice that the right shoulder is lifting, you're probably gone too far with your twist. So back off. Couple more breaths here. And then inhale, come back to the center. Both your feet on the floor. Press the feet down. Inhale, lift the hips, lower them down. And then roll to your right side. And come up to all fours, hands and knees. So spread your fingers really wide. Pinkies touching the edges of the mat. Start shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. Your knees are as wide as your hips, inner hips. Shoulder move away from the ears, cat cow. Inhale, lift the heart, arch the back. Exhale, chin to chest, push the floor away, round the spine. Inhale, open. Try to move more from the upper back rather than the lower back. Exhale, look at the belly button, push the floor away with your hands and round the spine. Two more. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, round the whole spine. Shoulder blades spread apart as you push the floor away with your hands. Inhale, heart lift, back bend. Exhale, round the spine. Beautiful. Inhale, come to neutral on a rounded or arch. And then move your hands and unprint forward. So wrap the triceps, this muscle inward. And then curl the toes under and shift the hips up and back. Downward dog. This is the first downward dog of the day. And probably, if your hamstrings are tight, it is useful to pedal the dog, we say. So lowering one heel at a time, warming up the back of the leg. Your hamstring muscles, your calf muscles, and your Achilles. Bring the belly in, the ribs in, to lengthen the whole spine. Your head hangs free between your arms. Take your time to make downward dog comfortable. Beautiful. And then find stillness and start lowering both heels at the same time towards the floor. They don't need to touch the floor. So don't be obsessed with that. Beautiful. And now come to the tippy toes. And then lift the left leg up, hip high, not higher. Push through the arms and the hands, and then bend the knee. And open the hip to the side. Push evenly through both hands. And then stretch the leg. Beautiful. Stay here a few breaths. Letting the hip open. Beautiful. Square the hips. Nice. And now, gently and slowly, lower the right heel down towards the floor. Yeah, I know. That's the work. You're probably feeling it on the quads. And then beautiful. Exhale. The left foot down. Nicely done. Second side. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Come to the tippy toes of your left foot. Bend the right knee. And then open the hip to the side, pushing to both hands evenly. Probably the right hand will try to work more. Push through the left one. And then straighten the leg. Stay here. Count for 5. And then square the hips. And slowly, slowly start lowering the left heel down towards the floor. Nice. Beautiful. And then lower the right leg down. Beautiful. Place the knees down. Open the knees wider than your hips. And sink into child pose. Reconnect with the breath. Long, deep breath. At this time, probably then walk your hands towards your knees. Come up. This time, probably you're starting to feel a little bit hot. That's what we want. We are creating some heat in order for the muscles to open. Beautiful. Now, walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Bring your knees so that they are as wide as your inner hips. And then step your left foot between your hands. Sometimes, I'm going to show it again. Sometimes the left foot does not reach. It kind of comes halfway. So you just hold the back of the ankle and bring it forward. Nice. So we're going to start to work lunges. And lunges are really good to open again the hip flexors, the front of the thighs. So make these a low and very deep lunge. Low and deep lunge. So make sure your knee is over the ankle. The left knee is over the ankle. And this is where the blocks can become handy, just to create more space. I'm going to demo without the blocks because some of us won't be able to have blocks. But this is how you would use blocks if you had them. Stay here for a few breaths. Opening the heart, creating length through the back. Imagine you have a string that pulls you from the top, the crown of the head, to the tailbone. Nice. Now, place the right hand down as the left arm goes up, around, and behind you. Goes up, around, and behind you, creating big circles. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Nice. Place both hands on the floor. I'm on my fingertips. And I do recommend to do that. And then bend the right knee. And bring the heel as close as you can to your buttocks, to your right buttocks. And this is where the strap can get handy. And I'll show you how. So our next movement is going to be quad stretch. So I'm going to bring the left arm up, around, and behind me until it reaches the top of my right foot. And now I'm just working towards opening across the chest. And breathe. So if you can't reach the foot, you just place the strap. Oops. And then you pull the strap. Yeah. So make sure you're really working towards opening the heart, opening the chest, maintaining integrity of the pose. And then gently release the strap or release and gently lower the right knee down. Place both hands on the floor. Charge the back leg. Left foot meets the right. Exhale, downward dog. And feel the difference between the two legs in downward dog. Nice. Pedal the feet again, lowering one heel at a time. Beautiful. Then bring both knees in. And this time, step the right foot between your hands. Move it a little bit forward than what you usually would do. Make sure your knee is over the ankle. And then bring the belly towards the spine. Open the heart. Look in front of you. Stretching the whole front of your left leg. Stay here and breathe. And then place your left hand on the floor as the right one goes up, around, and behind you. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Two more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And now let's go for our quad stretch. So bend the left knee, bring the left heel as close as you can to your buttocks, and then the right arm goes up, round, and behind you until it reaches the left foot. The more you pull the left foot in, the more you open the quad. I forgot to say that if you need to pad the knee, please do so and use your cushion or your pillow, whatever is needed to pad the knee. And now let's work towards opening the chest to the side. And then breathe. Let's hold the pose for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5. And then gently lower the knee down towards the floor. Bring both hands to the floor. And then straight the left leg. Push the left heel against the imaginary wall. Lift the head, look in front of you. Right foot meets the left. And as we exhale, we push back into downward facing dog. Nice. Pedal the feet. Okay. And then bring the hands to meet the feet. Bend the knees if you need to. Hold opposite elbows and rock side to side. Change the interlock of the elbows. And then place your hands at the waist, push the floor away with your hands, and so with your feet. Inhale, we rise. Beautiful. Stretch the arms. Avoid getting dizzy. Nice. So, couple of half sound salutation before we head down towards the floor. So, inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. like similar movement to what we do in cow pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, push the floor away with your feet. Nice. One more. Inhale, stretch the arms out. Exhale, fall forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway up, opening the heart, back bending. Exhale, forward, full head hangs completely free. Say yes, say no. Press the feet down on the floor. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Look up if you want. Exhale, part the arms, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway up, stretch the whole spine forward. Look down. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Press the feet down on the floor. Inhale, we rise. Exhale. Mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, stretch up. Lengthen through the side of the body. Exhale, part the arms and fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. And this time, walk the hands forward until you find your downward facing dog. Use downward dog to stretch the whole spine. Bring the belly towards the back, ribs in, creating length. And then place the feet, the knees down on the floor, all fours. And let's step the left foot between the hands. So now stretch the right leg back. Imagine your right foot is pressing against a wall. The left heel is pressing against the wall. Now this hip, probably the left hip, will want to move forward. I'm exaggerating, so pin it back. We really want to create evenness in the pelvis and in the hips. Now come light to the fingertips. Bring the belly in and inhale, we rise. Back leg, so right leg is bent. This is the work we're going to do. We are going to open the back leg slowly, slowly. So remember, imagine you have lights here on the hip points. So these are the hip bones. And these lights are going to shine directly forward. So that's why we are squaring the hips. Yeah, both hips on. You can even touch the lower back and the hips just to check that this hip is not moving forward. So knee over the ankle, as always. If your balance is wobbly, move the left foot towards the side of the mat. And then slowly, slowly, start straightening the left leg. Moving the left heel down towards the floor, opening the front of the thigh. So what happens in this pose is we are going towards Anjaneyasana pose. And what happens is that we tend to arch the lower back. So really bring the belly towards the spine, ribs in, and then really shoulder over the hips. I've seen so many times people leaning forward, and this is much easier, but this is not what we want. The moment we bring the shoulders over the hips, we really open the front of the thigh. Beautiful. Now inhale, stretch the arms up. Hook the thumbs. Stretch it even more. Reach through the fingers. And as you exhale, side bend towards the left to open right hip flexors. You'll probably feel the psoas here, hopefully. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, the arms down. Now, move the right leg a little bit forward. So, and then straighten both legs. Square the hips again. And we are just forward folding. Place your hands here on top of the hip bones and forward fold with a straight back. Make sure both hips are on the same line. And here's where again the blocks can be handy. Customize the height of the block to what your body needs. If you don't have blocks, I suggest coming to the fingertips. When you reach your max, just let the head hang. So my back heel, so my right heel is on the floor. Really important to keep the back heel on the floor. If you need to microbend the knee, microbend the left one. I'm showing you right now. Ideally, both knees straight, if you can. Long spine. Beautiful. Couple of breaths here. Thinking about opening and releasing. Switching the mindset from thinking, oh, I'm so tight. No, think, I'm opening, I'm releasing. And then microbend the left knee. Place both hands on the floor. And then stretch back into downward facing dog. And here just notice the difference between the two legs. Exhale the knees down. Same thing on the other side. Step the right foot between the hands. Come to the fingertips. And then stretch the left leg towards the back of the mat. The left leg is really active. So the left heel is pointing towards an imaginary wall. My left hip is not going down towards the floor. It's really lifting up. Nice. So bring the belly towards the spine. Come light to the fingertips. Inhale, we rise. Rising with the back, with the left knee bent at first. So if your balance is wobbly, bring the right foot towards the right side of the mat to create a broader base. Nice. Again, let's check how the hips are doing. We want both hips on the same line. So squaring the hips towards this is the back of my mat. Bring the belly towards the spine, shoulder over the hips. And here we start to work. Opening the hip flexors on our left side by straightening the heel and your mount. Yeah, that's the work. Yeah. And if your leg is wobbly, that's fine. Mine is too. So that's pretty normal. Nice. When you reach your maximum, when you say, I can't do it anymore, you just inhale, lift the arms up. Hook the thumbs the other way, the whole way. Reach through the fingers. And as you exhale, side bend towards the right, opening the left side of the psoas. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, the hands at the waist. And now we're going to go for Parshvattanasana. So bring the left foot towards the front. Straighten the right knee. And again, adjust the feet if you need more broader base. Square the hips and start hinging forward. Remembering that probably the right knee will want to move forward. I'm exaggerating, so pin it back. You can have your hands here just to be a reference on where you are in space. Fall forward with a straight back, any amount. And use your exhale to fold a little bit more. Don't be surprised if one side feels very different to the other. Use your blocks. If you need to, I'm going to show you the blocks. And then when you reach your max, when you feel, oh, this is a way, this is a moment where I feel I can't go any further, just let the head hang. Stay here a few breaths. And think about opening, releasing, creating space. Long, deep breaths. The left heel is on the floor, really important. If you need to microbend somewhere, it's best to microbend on the right knee rather than the left one. Beautiful. Then place your hands on the floor. Bend the right knee and push back into downward facing dog. Nice. So inhale, lift the left leg up and then bend the knee, open the knee to the side, and just feel how different the pose feels compared to when we start practice. Straighten the leg, square the hips, stay here for a few breaths, and lower the foot down. Second side, inhale, lift the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip to the side, pushing evenly through both hands, straighten the leg, square the hips, stay here for a few breaths, and then exhale, place the foot on the floor. Beautiful. Both knees on the floor. And we're going to go for hip stretch. It's a modification of lizard pose, for those who know it. So we step the left foot towards the front of the mat. And really this time, let's move the foot as close, so next to the edge of the mat. I will need blocks, so probably some of you will need blocks too. I'm going to place the blocks here in the middle of the mat so that you can see. Beautiful. And now I'm just going to forward fold any amount. Some people are able to put their head down. I'm not. I'm just going to put my elbows down on the blocks or on the floor. And as your elbows touch the floor or the block, you just come to the outer edge of your foot, of your left foot. I hope you can see it. So I'm really opening the left hip. If this is too intense, you just stay here. You can stay here and you can just open the hip by rolling the foot on its outer edge. Yeah. For those who want to go towards the full pose, you fold forward and you place the elbows on the blocks or on the floor, whatever is available to you. And you just stay here and breathe, feeling what's happening in the body. And then slowly, as we inhale, we press through the hands, we put the foot on the floor. And now we are going to move to hamstring stretch from this same position. You can use the blocks or not. So I'm bringing my foot closer to the middle of the mat, and I'm just going to walk my hands towards my waist. And then I'm lifting the toes, so the toes are flat. Again, check what's happening in your hips. Sometimes the hip will want to move forward, pin it back, and that's really the hard work. So you want to create evenness in both hips. So if I come upright, the pose becomes more accessible. Becomes easier. The moment I start folding forward, the stretch becomes more intense. So it's up to you where you want to be today, what you need, what your body needs today. So if you're folding forward, please do not round the spine. So don't do this. Come down with a straight back. I know this is a quite intense stretch, so don't force it. Don't force your body. Your body will open with time, I promise. And then slowly, slowly start walking your hands towards the front. Beautiful. Place both hands on the floor. Charge the back leg. And then left foot meets the right one. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Nicely done. Now right, so bend the knees. And this time it's the right foot that steps through. I start to move the right foot towards the side of the mat. I'm bringing both hands inside. And then I start folding forward any amount. I'm going to use blocks. Use any support that you think is appropriate. And then I'm going to open the side of the foot. So I'm on the outer edge of my right foot. And I'm just going to stay here and breathe, letting the hip open. Breathing fully and deeply, listening to what's happening in the body. As I said earlier, you can just have your arms straight. This is already enough. Foot pose, elbows, or even head down. Whatever is available to you without overstretching the body. Couple of more breaths in. And then on your next inhale, come up, push the floor away with your hands, remove the blocks. Bring the foot so that fully on the floor, move it towards the center of the mat. My hands are framing the foot now. I'm on my fingertips. And then as I exhale, I move the hands towards the waist. And I start straightening the right knee and lifting the toes up. So you might need to wiggle the foot. So my knee is over the hip. So hips and knees, shoulders, all in the same line. Check that your pelvis is square to the short side of the mat. And then this may be enough. If you want to go further, go forward. Remember to keep the integrity here on the pelvis, waist, lower back, hips. I'm on my fingertips. Check what your body is comfortable with. And then I think this is my max. I'll just round the head and let the head hang. I'm letting the head hang, but I'm not rounding the spine. So I'm folding forward with a really straight back. Beautiful. Couple of more breaths. And then we'll bend the right knee, place the foot on the floor, walk your hands towards the front, charge the left leg, right foot meets the left one, and as I exhale, I push up and back into downward facing dog. Lower one heel at a time in downward dog. This time our dog is probably very different to when we start. I hope so at least. And then bend the knees. Beautiful. And come to sitting crossed leg. Sukhasana. Easy pose. So if you notice that your your knees are very high, sit on something, maybe use the pillow. So we are going to twist, and actually I'm going to show you from the side. So if you can cross the shins, feet are flexed. Inhale, stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rotate towards the left. Inhale a tiny bit more. Exhale, rotate a tiny bit more. And then place the right hand on top of the left side as the left hand goes up, around, and behind you, landing more relaxed near the buttock, your left buttock. Inhale for leg. Exhale, revolve. Looking at your left shoulder, making sure this left shoulder is open. It's not moving forward. Open. Inhale, feel the torso with your breath. And as you exhale, squeeze the air out. Inhale, bring the head to the center. And then release the pose. We're going to go to the other side. Inhale, stretch the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, a tiny bit more. Exhale, rotate a little bit more. And then place the left hand on top of the right arm as the right arm goes up, round, and behind you. Follow the twist with your gaze. Open this right shoulder to create space across the collarbones. And then inhale, feel the torso, the rib cage with your breath. Exhale, twist and let go. Inhale for legs. Exhale, revolve. One more. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, head to the center. Release the twist. Beautiful. Let's grab the strap. And move more towards the center. And we are going to do a final hamstring stretch. So I'm showing first with the strap. I know some of you are able to do without. So I'm placing the strap on the ball of the feet. My legs are together, and I start straightening the legs. So I'm sitting really tall, so I'm not rounding the spine. No rounding on the spine. So lift the spine, shoulder, so ear, shoulder, and hips on the same line. Yeah. Open across the chest. And then fold forward any amount. Whatever is available to you today. The body changes every day. Sometimes the pose that we do very easily one day, we struggle the next day, and vice versa. So whenever you reach your maximum, you just let the head go. Paschimottanasana. Forward fold. And breathe. Each time you exhale, think about folding a tiny bit more. It's the power of the exhale that allows the muscles to relax and to open. Couple more breaths. And then slowly, slowly, we start walking the hands back towards the center. Lovely. Let's lie down on the back for our cool down and final poses. Stretch the legs up towards the ceiling. Make ankle rotations with your ankles. And then stretch the arms and make wrist rolls. Yeah, beautiful. Then lower down the arms. Cross the left leg over the right. Bend at the knees. This might be enough for most of us. Bring the knees closer to you. The closer you bring the knees, the more you stretch the left glutes and the left hip. So if you want to go further in the stretch, you hold the back of the ankle and you start pulling the legs apart. The feet are flexed. So this is Gomukhasana legs on your back, which is a little bit less intense, actually, much more less intense than when we do it sitting. Hold it for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, and then release. Stretch the legs back up, shake the legs, and then cross the right over the left. Bend the knees and bring them close to your heart. So my neck is long and my shoulders are fully relaxed. Now hold from underneath the ankles, flex the feet so the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. And then start pulling the legs apart if you want to increase the stretch. Gomukhasana legs. Remember not to lift the shoulders off the floor and not to lift the neck. So your torso is relaxed, the shoulders are relaxed. Keep on breathing fully and deeply. Nice. Release the clothes. Stretch the legs out towards the ceiling. Stretch and shake them. And then place both feet on the floor. They are hip width distance apart. One more pose for the hips and glutes. So cross the left leg over the right. Cross really tightly. Now shift the hips so that towards the left, so that you're basically lying on your right buttocks. Take a big inhale to the center, and then as you exhale, twist towards the right. Check how your body is feeling in this new shape. If you want to increase the stretch, straighten the left arm towards the back, above and behind the head. Reach for something through the fingertips to open the whole left side of the torso. And breathe fully. Inhale, bring the head, the legs, and the arm to the center. Release the pose. Shake the legs. Lift the hips, lower them down. And now cross the right leg over the left. Chin towards the chest. Now shift the hips towards the right. I'm lying on my left buttocks. We take a big inhale here. And as I exhale, I bring both legs towards the left. Nice. Stay here a couple of breaths, feeling what's happening in the body. Where do you feel the sensation? And then if you want to go further, stretch your right arm up, above, and behind the head. The finger reach for something. So this is an active stretch. The more you stretch your right arm, the more you open the whole right side of the body. Breathe fully and deeply, thinking about releasing, opening. Beautiful. Start to bring the right arm towards the center and then the legs as well. Both feet on the floor. Lift the hips and lower them down to realign the body. So now move the feet tiny bit towards the front of the mat. The feet are as wide as the mat, and we just windshield wiper the leg one way to the other. My arms alongside the body, moving with the breath. Inhale out, exhale down. Inhale out, exhale down. Inhale out, exhale down. Last one, inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. And let's find a comfortable position pose for Shavasana. I'm going to take Shavasana with my knees bent, but feel free to have the legs extended. Whatever is most comfortable for you today. The arms are along the side of the body, a little bit far away from the body, palms facing up. Close the eyes. Bring the knees together if you're working with bent knees. And make yourself really heavy on the floor. Feeling yourself fully supported by the ground beneath you. There is no need to tense, to hold, to grip. You are fully supported by the ground beneath you. Let go. Shavasana. And you can stay in Shavasana as long as you want. I'm going to take you out, but at home you can stay here for 5-10 minutes, whatever feels comfortable. So let's start moving the neck from side to side very slowly and gently, wiggling the fingers, the toes, maybe moving the legs from side to side. And then roll to your right side, curl up into fetal position. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then using your left hand, push the floor away and come up to sitting cross-legged. Stretch your arms out towards the ceiling. Join the palms at the top. Exhale. Hands at the heart, chin towards the chest. Bow. Bow at yourself to the time you're dedicating to yourself. Inhale, lift the head. Namaste. Thank you for practice. I hope you enjoyed.